Good evening, this is Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. On the 28th of February in 2002, a day after the Godhra train burning took place, a mob of people entered the Muslim-dominated locality of Gulbarg society in the heart of Ahmedabad. 69 people were killed. Among them, former Congress MP Ehsan Jafri. He was burnt to death. His frantic phone calls to police officers and senior politicians for help allegedly went unanswered. Police said the mob went out of control because Jafri fired first. The Gulbarg massacre became one of the defining images of the 2002 riots. The case was among the 9 riot cases investigated by the Supreme Court appointed Special Investigation Team, or the SIT. Today, a court in Gujarat convicted 24 people for the killings, 11 of them for murder, 36 were acquitted, including a sitting BJP cooperator. Significantly, the court said there was no pre-planned conspiracy. Tonight we ask whether riot victims in India ever truly get justice, as trials take years and years. Does justice remain elusive?
14 years later, 66 accused, 24 convicted, 11 for murder, 13 for lesser charges like unlawful assembly, 36 acquitted. That was the verdict today in one of the worst Gujarat riot cases of 2002. 69 people were killed that day in February at the Gulbarg society after a mob of 20,000 people attacked them. Former Congress MP Ehsan Jafri was among those burnt alive. The court, however, said it was not a pre-planned conspiracy, a charge slapped on the accused by the prosecution.
It is placed. The charge is there. But if the material evidence is not coming, then we can't go further.
36 accused walked free today, including this man, sitting BJP corporator Bipin Patel, for lack of evidence. Zakia Jafri, Ehsan Jafri's widow, says she's not satisfied with the verdict.
मुझे संतोष नहीं है कि ये तो मेरी जद्दोजहद जो थी वो अधूरी रह गई. अब मेरे को फिर और आगे बढ़ना पड़ेगा.
While the SIT had reinvestigated both the major riot cases, the Naroda Patia and Gulbarg society, but while in the Naroda Patia case, the court upheld the conspiracy angle. In the Gulbarg case, it has rejected it, citing lack of evidence. The rejection of conspiracy charges is being seen as a big setback for the victims, who had maintained that the mob attack was a pre-planned strategy, not a spontaneous act. The detailed order will be out on Monday, when the quantum of sentence is also announced. In Ahmedabad, with camera person Natwar Parmar and Pramod Arya, Rohit Ban for NDTV.
Well, joining us on the program tonight is Rupa Modi, who was there at Ehsan Jafri's house on the day that the Gulbarg massacre happened. She has not been able to find her son Azhar since that day. He was a little boy when this incident happened, and she continues to search for him till today. He has been missing since then. Her story, in fact, becoming the object of a film as well. Rupa Modi, thank you so much for joining us. What is your reaction to the verdict today, ma'am? It's been a very tough, long fight for you personally. Do you think that justice has been served?
जी, हम लोगों को तो जो 24 जन को आरोपी बनाया उसकी वजह से हम लोग खुश हैं, पर जो 36 के लिए हम लोग आगे की रणनीति बनाएंगे, क्योंकि हमारे पास कोर्ट की कॉपी नहीं आई है और हमारे एडवोकेट को मिलकर हम जो भी करेंगे वो आगे की रणनीति बनाएंगे. जो 24 जन को मिला है वो हम लोग खुश हैं.
आप कह रही हैं कि आप एटलीस्ट सैटिस्फाइड हैं जितने भी कन्विक्शंस हुए हैं, लेकिन मैम कोर्ट ने ये भी कहा है कि कंस्पिरेसी नहीं थी. आप उस दिन वहां थी एहसान जाफरी के घर में, आपने क्या देखा?
जी, मैंने सुबह से जब 11:30 पौने 11 बजे वो बंद कराने आए, तभी से शाम को पुलिस चौकी ले गए शाम को. तब तक पूरे मैं उनकी विटनेस गवाह हूँ, और मैंने जो सुबह से शाम तक देखा वो इसमें हमारी कोई गलती नहीं थी. हम तो हमारे घर में बंद करके बैठे रहे थे. यहाँ तक के कमिश्नर साहब, केजी हेड्डा साहब, वहाँ का पीआई मेघानी नगर का, सब आके हम लोगों को बोला आपको प्रोटेक्शन देते हैं, आप अंदर शांति से बैठ जाओ. हम लोग तो बैठे थे, हमने कोई ऐसा काम नहीं किया था. हम क्यों करें? ये सालों से रह रहे हैं एक मिलजुल के.
लेकिन आपको क्या लगता है कि जब कोर्ट ने कहा कि उनको इसमें कोई कंस्पिरेसी नहीं दिखती है, आपको वो सेटबैक लगा?
जी, कोर्ट ने जो किया है वो गलत किया है, क्योंकि 69 जन की डेथ हो गई है, 29 मिसिंग है। तो कोई एक नानी मोटी सुनी बात नहीं है, ये पूरा स्टन उन लोगों का था। और सुबह से शाम तक न पुलिस आई, न फायर ब्रिगेड आया। जाफरी साहब ने इतने सारे कॉल्स किए। मैंने खुद ने, मेरे बड़े भाई ने कमिश्नर ऑफिस में जाके फोन किया था कि आप, मैं यहाँ बैठा हूँ, आप कमिश्नर से बात करो। और वो सारा प्रूफ संदेश न्यूज में भी छपा था। तो वो मैंने कमिश्नर से भी बात की थी, खुद ने मैंने की थी जाफरी साहब के मोबाइल लैंडलाइन से। तो लैंडलाइन की जो डिटेल्स आज तक नहीं, SIT ने किसी ने नहीं निकाली। और जो मैंने खुद ने बात की थी कमिश्नर से, तो फिर भी वो नहीं बचाना है। हमारी सोसाइटी के कमिश्नर ऑफिस के खाली 7 से 10 मिनट का टाइम है, और न सुबह से शाम तक न फायर ब्रिगेड आया है, न पुलिस आई है, न यहाँ तक कि नरेंद्र मोदी को भी फोन किया है। मेरे सामने जाफरी साहब ने फोन किया है। वो SIT ने वो डिटेल्स भी नहीं निकाले। यहाँ तक कि 29 मिसिंग है, वो भी नहीं उन लोगों ने कोई जांच की है।
मैम ये बात सच है कि आपने जो पर्सनली बैटल देखा है, यू हैड सच अ टफ टाइम एज आई सेड एट द बिगिनिंग, लेकिन क्या आपको अभी भी लगता है कि आपका बेटा ही स्टिल आउट देयर, आप अभी भी उसको ढूंढ रही हैं?
जी, अभी भी मैं ढूंढ रही हूँ। अभी 2 साल पहले ही मैं केरला जाके आई। अभी बीच में बड़ौदा से महीने पहले फोन आया था कि आपका बेटा है, जैसा ही मैंने देखा है। और जो पर्जन्या पिक्चर देखते हैं, तो पर्जन्या पिक्चर के लास्ट में मेरा ये बेटे का फोटो भी है और मेरा नंबर भी है। तो कितने लोग देखते हैं, तो आज मुझे आश्वासन भी देते हैं कि हम भी आपके फैमिली मेंबर्स हैं, आपके दुख में सहभागी। पर यहाँ के गुजरात के कोई गवर्नमेंट के कोई भी मेरे साथ सपोर्ट करने नहीं आए, कभी कैंडल जलाने नहीं आए 28 फरवरी को गुलबर्ग सोसाइटी में, और न किसी ने अभी तक मुझे पूछा है।
Well, Rupa Modi, you're a brave woman as you continue to search for your son. Thank you for joining us today and speaking to us on the program. We're joining us for the rest of the show tonight. We have Akar Patel, who as a journalist and columnist has written extensively on the Gujarat riots for all these years. He's now the head of Amnesty International here in India. Tavleen Singh, writer, author and columnist, also joins us tonight from Mumbai. We have Mr. Jainarayan Vyas of the BJP joining us, Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Congress party, and Tanveer Jaffrey, who is Zakia Jaffrey and Ahsan Jaffrey's son, also joining us tonight from Ahmedabad. Akar Patel, to you first. How should we look at this verdict today? One gets a sense that it's a mixed bag, because I think many people are today saying, including the families of the victims, that they are happy that at least there have been a number of convictions. At the same time, they are extremely disappointed that the conspiracy charges have been set aside. Would you say that that's a fair assessment?
Well, it is, and if we were not to look at it from the point of view of the survivors, I think it's a great story. I think we have unfortunately not have had many convictions in riots in the past. Acts of mass violence, whether in 1992 or 1984, have gone unpunished. I think in this instance, it is the dedication and the hard work of civil society organizations, people like Teesta Setalvad, who are vilified, attacked by the BJP. They have very doggedly pursued the justice, and we are seeing the fruits of it.
And therefore you believe that it is important that these convictions have happened. However, are you disappointed that there are also a large number of acquittals, and that the conspiracy charge, which was very key for the prosecution in this case, has been dropped?
Not at all. Ms. Razdan, in all acts of mass violence, it's very difficult to get forensic evidence, especially in a case where, as has happened in this instance, you've had to have it investigated twice. The Modi government did not do it competently under Mr. Shah and Mr. Modi, who were both the Minister of State and the cabinet ranked Minister for Home. The Supreme Court, viewers might not know this, had to forcibly took the case out of the Gujarat government's hand, gave it to the SIT, which reinvestigated it many years later a lot of evidence would have gone away. People died during the case, so it's not surprising that they were not able to get more people in. Also, I think the size of the mobs that tend to form in mass violence episodes in India means that you will never have a case where all of them receive a conviction. I think, not being a survivor, being merely an observer, that this is a very good day.
Well, that's very important and significant what you say. And Tavleen Singh, you yourself have seen India go through gut-wrenching riots for decades now. And, you know, when you look at the statistics for the 1984 Sikh riots, you know, there's only been convictions in 7 of the 255 cases. And we're talking, you know, as far back as 1984. Do you see it the way Akar does today as a positive development, in the sense that at least you do have a significant number of convictions, even if it's taken 14 years?
Yeah, well, 2 things. One, it should not have taken 14 years, because if we're serious about wanting to end this kind of violence, then there should be special courts and they should be tried for murder and, you know, as normal criminals. Instead of, you know, we keep talking about mobs. Let's specify exactly what the thing is. But on the other hand, never before, and I've covered many riots, as you know, I've never seen really serious convictions before. In 1984, the people they caught were small-time workers.
Mr. Jaffrey, let me ask you, how would you, as the son of Ehsan Jaffrey today, look at this verdict now that you've had several hours to really process it and digest what has happened today?
Let me start with this conspiracy angle. Just few years back, there was a judgment given by a Naroda Patia court. Naroda Patia incident happened on the same day, 20th February. This place, Naroda Patia, is located in Ahmedabad. It is only hardly 2 kilometers away from Gulbarg society. In that particular judgment of Naroda Patia, the court has accepted the conspiracy claim. Now, I don't understand why the judge here is saying that there is no conspiracy angle in the Gulbarg society matter. That is first thing. Let me tell you about my father. My father was a member of parliament. He won in 1977 from Ahmedabad constituency, Lok Sabha. He was a very active member, very respectable member of the society. He was active in politics, and in that 20th February, just before, few days before that, he was in Rajkot, where there was a by-election held, where Mr. Narendra Modi was contesting the election. He had spent almost 10-15 days over there, participating in the propaganda from on the behalf of Congress. After he came back from there, 3-4 days after this incident happened. Now, one more thing, that we have placed enough evidence in front of the SIT in terms of the phone call records of the officers which are responsible for the Gulbarg society area and the Chamanpura, and the phone call records of the Chief Minister office. Enough evidence has been placed in front of the court
to saying you're disappointed?
Strengthen our claim.
Are you saying that you're disappointed
angle.
Then? Are you disappointed with the verdict?
Yes. What I am saying, that verdict, if it is done, say that it is a conspiracy, so we are disappointed. We will take it further when the judgment is at our end, what further to do.
Let me ask Mr. Jaina and Vyas of the BJP. Mr. Vyas, a mixed bag today, many see it. Is this a relief for the BJP that the conspiracy angle has actually been set aside by the court?
See, Nidhi, at the outset, let me tell you that the court judgments are neither meant for celebration nor for any kind of criticism. It's a judgment, as it has been often commented by the apex court of this country. And as the judgment comes, and I frankly would not accept the theory that because something was accepted for Naroda Patia, there is an identical case here and that also should have been accepted here. I mean, the courts in their judgment, the evidence is placed before them, and in their wisdom they take a decision. And I think if somebody is not satisfied, he can always take recourse to going to the appellate court and get the grievances again heard, and if at all he feels that it should be relooked into or revisited. So I think it is a judgment. the judgment has come wherever the court felt that somebody was guilty, they have been pronounced guilty. Now the punishment will be pronounced on 6 June, and wherever the court felt that the people were not guilty, they have been let off. The conspiracy angle 120B especially, that is not accepted by the court also, despite the seat getting into all these details and the investigations being carried out under the direct supervision of the apex court of the country. So I think it will be fair to believe that there is no substance, and if at all there was a substance, like what Mr. Jaffrey was saying, in case of Naroda Patia, the court in their own wisdom, they were convinced that yes, there was some conspiracy angle involved in it, and they accordingly ruled the case. So I think whatever judgment has come is the judgment. Those who are not satisfied, obviously they have
a right to
recourse to go to the appellate court.
Sure, and they will. Priyanka Chaturvedi, just taking off from what Narayan Vyas has said, you know, at the end of the day, he's right. It's a court order. It's one that has to be respected. And how does the Congress today, you know, look at this verdict in terms of when you look at the big picture of how riot cases in this country get delayed for so long? You have convictions today, and Akar Patel makes that very important point that we have to try and see this as a glass half full development.
No, convictions happening does not really mean that entire justice has been served. We just heard Mr. Jaffrey saying that he is not satisfied with the judgment. We are not even questioning how the judgment was decided, or the judges, or the High Court for that matter. Firstly, I think the apex court getting into this entire case and SIT probing the entire case at least led to some convictions. Now, having said that, we also need to see how the turn of events happened. When Mr. Jaffrey talks about the call records, we see how for 6 hours the massacre continued. We see how the cops did not cooperate. The police, the local police station, which was next door, did not come forward to help. If we look at all these evidences, if there have been evidences that have been submitted to the court, then it would have made for a conspiracy, really, considering it went on for 6 hours. But however, having said that, I wouldn't say some conviction is the best judgment that has come out. If Mr. Jaffrey thinks, and I think even I was listening to Tista about this, Tista plans to move the higher courts on this particular issue, but I think it is partial justice served, and for entire justice to really, in the truest sense for Gulbarg case is concerned, probably it would be the best thing to take it to higher courts, if even Mr. Jaffrey feels the same.
Well, Mr. Jaffrey, I think certainly does feel that this is a case that does warrant appeal. But Akar Patel, do you believe, and you wrote an interesting piece today, that you don't believe that this is a verdict, even though this has been, in a sense, a case and images, you know, from the Gulbarg massacre, in a sense, defined the 2002 riots. It's such an important verdict today in that sense, and yet you don't believe it's really going to have any political fallout. If you could explain why.
I don't think the Congress is competent to exploit BJP weaknesses. I think at the point at which the Supreme Court took away the cases from Gujarat, they said that the Gujarat police was not competent and could not be trusted under Mr. Shah and Mr. Modi to do its job properly. At that point, there should have been a pressure on the BJP to make a change. What the Congress did instead, shamefully, was to put an RSS man in charge of the party who remains in charge of the party. Today, for my parents in Surat, the choice is between voting for an RSS man, Mr. Waghela, or an RSS woman, Amanandiben Patel. There is no real running away from Hindutva. The Congress is as complicit in this in many ways as the BJP. I don't think they have the kind of quality, the competence or the credibility to exploit something as has happened today.
Well, that's a very important point that you make, and I just want to take that back to Narayan Vyas for the moment. Mr. Vyas, in that sense, politically, does the BJP believe that today's verdict is a vindication of its position on how the riots played out? That they were spontaneous?
Well, I have two or three observations. I have a tremendous respect for Mr. Akar Patel as an analyst and also as a person who has deep insights into the political scenario in Gujarat. I fully accept his statement that Congress is totally incompetent to do anything. I simply would like to say that to do anything, either this way or that way. Congress in Gujarat is today such a mix of people that it's a stratified lot which is neither going to be this way nor going to be that way. So Akar is right there. Now, having said this, let us also understand that it is also not entirely true that Gujarat police has not been trusted or Gujarat police has not done their job. In the cases which were shifted outside Gujarat, like Best Bakery or Dipra Darwaja case, where the other investigation agencies were also involved, and the trial courts, they fully relied upon the details which were submitted by the Gujarat police, and the guilty were brought to the books. To say that Gujarat police has not done independent job, I think is being unfair to them.
Well, at the same time, the Supreme Court did move the cases out. But Mr. Vyas, the Supreme Court did move these cases out.
No,
it appointed its own SIT to oversee them, to probe them.
One thing. No, let me one sentence. Let me tell you that, you know, maybe the intention was that not only the justice is done, but the justice should appear to be done also. So I think for that, whatever kind of a satisfaction is required to say that now it is being independently investigated and examined and processed, I think Supreme Court in their own wisdom might have taken that decision. That is not in any way an adverse commentary on Gujarat police or the Gujarat government.
Mr. Jaffrey, do you agree with what Mr. Vyas says, that it's not an adverse comment on the Gujarat police today when you hear this from the BJP?
If you look at the complete incident of a massacre of a Gulbarg society, you see the whole, it happened on 20th February. From morning to evening, the massacre continued. Such a big society with 45 families staying there. So many numbers of bungalows were burned, looted, and 69 residents lost their lives. It happened for the whole day. There was no sign of police there. My father had called up even the Chief Minister, as you heard, Rupa Ben Modi, and all the police officers there. We have submitted records of the police officers, where they were moving, whom they are talking to, or whom they are getting instruction from. So that itself, there is enough evidence in front of the SIT and in front of the court to prove that this was a conspiracy. And it was a complete inaction from the police which has caused this incident to happen.
Well, you have a right to appeal.
How can you say that the police was not involved? My society, yeah, we have a right to appeal. We will appeal it. Once the judgment is in our hand, we will see why the 36 people have been left out, why they have been acquitted, and what are the reasons why the court has not accepted our conspiracy claim. That we will appeal in the court.
Isn't one of the big lessons, though, last comments from everyone, Priyanka, that at the end of the day, isn't it criminal that it's taken so long for any verdict to come? Not just in this case, I cited the 1984 riots, I've cited the Mumbai riots of 92-93. At the end of the day, doesn't that make justice actually elusive for most riot victims in this country?
No, absolutely. Any riot that has happened and there has not been any closure as far as providing justice to these people who have lost their lives is concerned, or their families are concerned, is a cause of concern for the entire nation, not just a political party. It is something that needs to be relooked into. Maybe fast-track courts need to come in place, but we also need to be very certain that these cases are time-bound, and evidence is also time-bound. Everything is done in a limited period of time, and there has to be a time-bound probe, otherwise it becomes irrelevant. And I'm not just talking about this particular case, the 2002 riots or many other such riots. We need to ensure that priority is given to such cases and justice is served to people who have lost their lives, and there's no kind of tampering involved or no kind of favoritism involved, which is something which has become a cause of concern over the years.
And I think that those are important words to end on, and what you said about a time-bound trial and an investigation and certainly a trial, that is something that is an important point which I think Tavleen was trying to make earlier as well. Thank you to all of you for joining us tonight.